Burn After Reading, 2008 dark comedy made by Coen brothers, starring George Clooney, Frances McDormand, Tilda Swinton, John Malkovich, and Brad Pitt. So, to convey the idea of this film in the best way, in the shortest way, is to take a look at another film made way back by the Coens, namely The Big Lebowski. That one was a character driven spoof on the whole genre of noir mystery film. Well, this one is a character driven spoof on a spy film. So the story takes place in Washington, D.C., and starts off with multiple different subplots and multiple different characters. John Malkovich gets fired from the CIA in the first scene of the film, and no longer knowing what he should do with his life, decides to start writing a book about his professional experiences. His wife, Tilda Swinton, plans to leave him because of the many things, but including as well the loss of his job. And she is, in the meantime, having an affair with George Clooney's character, who works for Treasury Department. And he, on the other hand, cheats not only with Tilda Swinton on his own wife, but also on Tilda Swinton with a bunch of random girls that he meets over the internet. One of those random women that he meets is Frances McDormand, who works at a gym and is trying somehow to get enough money to cover several plastic surgeries that she's come up with, because she thinks that she needs to stop looking so old. And her co-worker is Brad Pitt, who plays an unbelievable moron. And so the plot really kicks off with McDormand and Pitt randomly finding a CD containing the draft notes for Malkovich's book, which they, in their stupidity, take for real CIA shit and try to blackmail Malkovich with it. And then all of the other subplots and characters slowly but surely begin intertwining more and more and coming closer together until it all veers into the territory of complete nonsense. Nonsense, not in the sense of this me criticizing the script for being bad and poorly written, but because it is silly and outlandish in a very intelligent and confident and comedic way. The plot essentially is a spy story that could otherwise be serious and tight, but in this case, it is inhabited by utter morons. Pretty much every character is exaggerated and crazy, but somehow the script gets away with it. I think a large part of the reason why is the acting. Not only every member of the cast is stellar in the film, but they are also clearly having genuine fun playing their roles. In particular, I enjoyed the performances of Brad Pitt. As mentioned, he is just an absolute hopeless idiot in this film. And John Malkovich, who is seemingly the most normal person in a world filled with stupidity. In a way, the film made me think of a mix between Lebowski, that I already mentioned, and Logan Lucky, another movie that went out not so long ago, which puts dumb characters in a serious plot situation and makes fun of the result. I think in Burn After Reading, that character-based humor and that interactions-based humor works really well. Much like the other Coen films, which makes me think that it can be even better on subsequent viewings. I enjoyed the fact that some of the jokes are set up well beforehand. There will be a single line said in passing or a tiny little part of a scene, and then this results in a payoff several minutes or several scenes later. The thing that disappointed me the most about the movie, I think, was the cinematography. The movie lacks a distinct look. It isn't particularly pretty in any way, which, given the nature of previous Coen films, is a little bit disappointing. But I guess it can be justified by the fact that the story is put in this spy thriller framing, and it is also set in Washington, D.C., which is probably not the most picturesque place to film in. Now, I know that the film was rather divisive on its release. A few people loved it as much as I did, but there was also a fair bit of criticism, mostly in terms of the actual plot and the slow and jumbled way that it moves forward. I will say this. I agree with the fact that the pacing in the first act is, when all the pieces are still being put on the board, is rather weak. The movie takes a moment to get its steam going. But after about 20 minutes or so, the film really picks up the pace and it's much better from then on. And in regards to the actual plot being the way it is, I think it's a bit like criticizing Fast and Furious for having action sequences. That's the whole point. That's what the movie is about. That's the whole intention. If you think about it here, the most important thing about a spy thriller is a solid, tight plot that logically moves forward from one moment to another and has intelligent twists and turns throughout. But this is a parody of such film, so it's very natural to me that the way the story goes is more meandering and confusing and so on. So I think the whole reception of the film really comes down to whether or not you understand what the Coens are doing here and whether or not you like their style of humor and get on board this time around as well. If you don't, I can see it being viewed as a weird, perhaps even mediocre comedy that's kind of all over the place. But if you do, if you are aware of what exactly is going on, I think you're gonna love it.